Good day, ladies and gents. Welcome to the FairwayFit Golf Podcast, where two friends get together to talk about how we are trying to look good, feel good, and play good. Let's go.
All right, welcome back, Fairway Fit fans. It's Brad, and I've got Greg here. And Greg, I don't know about you.
Coming to you remotely.
You are. You got a different little background there. You are in transition time.
Yeah.
I'm
homeless. I went from being a real estate mogul, owning 2 homes at one time, to now I'm technically homeless, but whatever.
Yeah, but you're putting the big boy pants on, and you're getting the big boy house. And you're just transitioning right now from one to the other, and it's got to stink. I'll probably live out of a suitcase for a couple weeks.
Yeah, probably about 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. Throw in spring break there. It's 2 weeks.
Yeah, but it's everybody goes through it. I mean, we moved into our house. We lived in the basement for almost 6 to 8 months before we even came upstairs. So I mean, everybody has the quirks, and
I'm just
one of those things.
I'm just happy right now, the fact that we're doing stuff that we want to do with the house right now, rather than like everybody goes through this. You go to sell a house and you're like, oh, I want to make this house nice so it sells quick. And then you do this stuff and you're like, why did we wait 14 years to do this? Like, this is awesome. Like, so I'm happy.
Hate to burst the bubble to you. In 5 years, when Laura wants to change things, have to change things. And
there's going to be a lot more honeydew projects. I'm sure.
Paint a room, redo this, redo that. Oh, the new design's out. Gray is out. White is in, or whatever the new color may be. But it's always something that's
earth tones. Yeah, but
tones.
we're a gray family right now. So
yeah, and then the worst happens. So all your appliances break at one time, and then you got to do them all. Yeah, we went through 3 in like a 3-month time frame. So that was a lot of fun. But we are back. We're back. Last week, we went to FairwayFit Cup. Before we talk about FairwayFit Cup, I want to talk about our sponsor. This episode of the FairwayFit Golf Podcast is powered by the Back 9 of Leesburg, right here in Loudoun County's newest premier indoor golf experience. We're talking next level setup, Full Swing Pro 2.0 simulators, a putt view, putting green, tour level data that lets you dial in every part of your game. And here's the game changer, 24/7 secured access. That means in the morning,
it's my money
night.
point.
Yeah, that is for you. That is huge for you. But in the morning, late at night, whenever you want to go, 24/7 access. Whether you're a grinder trying to get better or somebody just wants to compete with friends, they'll have an event luxury lounge. The Back 9 is built for all. All right. Founding memberships are live right now, so make sure to lock in your rates. Check them out at back9.com/Leesburg, Virginia, and secure your spot today. So we are back. FairwayFit Cup 2026 is in the books. I'm not sure about you, Greg, but I'm still kind of recovering.
Little bit.
Been back for about a couple days now. Came home 2 days ago. I don't know if the 8.5-hour car ride due to all the traffic, or
traffic was brutal.
6 rounds in 3.5 days, or not getting to bed until the wee hours of the night caught up to you.
Probably a little bit of all of that.
It's funny though, when people say, I tell them I train for these golf trips. I mean, I really do. I can only imagine if I did not work, to prepare. And, obviously I don't prepare for the 4 to 5 hour nights of sleep, but a lot of fun.
I prepare for that.
You don't prepare. You just live that life. That is your life in general. And everybody always is like, how does he do it? I was like, well, he doesn't sleep.
Yeah.
Like, well, what do you mean? I go, yes. He contradicts every fitness person in the world that says you need 8 hours of sleep. He just doesn't do it.
There is a study that can't remember what school, but it's a prestigious one. But they did a study and they found that there is actually a genetic mutation of people that can function on less than 5 hours of sleep perfectly fine. And they call it's either the superhuman or the superhero gene. And literally Coach Hosty sent it to me and was like, dude, this has you written all over it. He was like, this must be you.
Yeah. Nova puts out a lot of good stuff. So
No,
No knock to them. But
come
let's
on.
talk about
The
Fairway Fit
Nighthawks are
Golf.
smart.
Let's talk Fairway Fit Cup. I mean, what was the vibes? What do you think the vibes were for the 4 days that we were down there, 5 days that we were down there?
I will say this. I think vibes are relatively high. I think everybody really enjoyed themselves. And I think that that like competition never got so stiff to the point. I think it was for a majority of groups. I think
Yeah.
it was relaxed competition where, everybody was having a good time, even though they
Yeah.
were competing. There was never like, that silent group. At least I don't know. When you guys were playing, I'm sure there was probably some silent holes, but like when you, Brian, and Dave and all them were playing, I'm sure there was
No,
some
I don't
silent
I don't
holes, quiet down for this shot type stuff. But
yes and no. We still throw jabs the whole time. It's not. I mean, everyone always puts us up on this high pedestal for competition, and we enjoy it, but it is just as much ragging everybody. Everyone jumps tee boxes and this tee box bandits going on all the time. We just play, but when it comes down to maybe the moment, we definitely tried to lock in. I can't say I locked in all 4 rounds, but try to lock in. But yeah, I think I'm the same way. Had a lot of positive feedback overall. Like you said, the one thing about these trips, and this is one reason why we love them, is there is a wide variety, and we want everybody to feel like they have some sort of part in the competition, in the trip. And I really do think, I mean, prime example is we had guys that kind of went off and did their own thing on the last day. And if all 3 groups played different formats that we had throughout the week, and that just tells you right then and there that all the formats work. And we'll talk a little bit more about the formats in a few minutes, but everybody, no matter if you were a 20 plus handicapper to the one scratch guy that we had, and 2 fake ones, me included, that didn't quite play to our level, but it was fun. I mean, the whole time. I mean, a lot of feedback. A lot of guys can't wait for next year. And a lot of guys have been sending me stuff, appreciative of everything that we put together. So the vibes were top notch. But 5 rounds, and basically with the practice round to make 6 rounds in a 4-day span. I know my body is definitely feeling it a little bit. Like I said, I'm not sure if it was the drive home wasn't the greatest once you hit the Richmond, Fredericksburg area, but you know what? I thought for our 4th time going down there, 2nd time putting this bigger event on, I couldn't have been more pleased with everything. And appreciate all the guys that came and look forward to moving to the future with them. But one thing that I thought we did really well with is choosing courses this year.
Oh yeah.
Although, they always talk about the Murrells Inlet area having the best courses. I mean, we played 5 really, really good golf courses, and two south of us, which was down more towards that Murrells Inlet area, and then 2 north, probably just outside North Myrtle Beach, I think, technically, but more north Myrtle Beach. 3 yes,
north
up that way, 2 days worth. But let's rank our courses. All right. What do you got? Ranking them worst to best, 5 being obviously the least. And I actually left off our practice round course, although very nice course.
Oh yeah.
Me and you have played those a handful of times.
You can't beat the barefoot courses.
Can't beat barefoot.
I mean, they're always going to be fun to play.
Shout out to my dad and the new general manager there to help us work that one in. But that was in great shape. Played very long. Longer than the scorecard. I felt like 14 holes were into the wind, and when they weren't, they were short par 3s where you had to kind of figure out the club. But no, great course there. But let's go ahead and rank your 5. What's your 5th one? What I mean?
I'm gonna go. This is a tough one, and it's really just because I did not start off the Fairway Fit Cup with the showing that I expected. I think in our previous show, I said that this is arguably the best I've felt going into a Fairway Fit Cup as far as being comfortable with my swing and everything like that. And I probably psyched myself out. I had high expectations, and first round tradition, even though it's a course that I actually really like, I'm gonna rank that 5th on my scale just because I played absolutely horrible. Brian F carried our team and basically did all the work for that round, to the point where I did pretty much absolutely nothing that round.
Yeah. So I'm going to go a little bit different route. I actually thought Traditions was in incredible shape. The fairways were beautiful. The greens were in really good shape. It is a little bit more the forgiving of the courses.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't say the most forgiving, but it was a little bit more open off the tee.
Not when you're
even if
spraying it like I was.
Well, even if you were a little bit right and left, it wasn't like you were gone or out of play like some of the ones we played. You
Sure.
were definitely could probably play most of it, but solid course. I do not have that in my bottom. My bottom would be Aberdeen. Aberdeen was a tale of two different halves. I think although we started on the back 9, well, just the front 9, one of the 9s, that one tended to be a little bit. I actually like that one side a little bit better than the front side. And again, but the one thing I did like about Aberdeen for the format we were playing that round, the 9-hole alternating and the 9-hole scramble, actually thought that worked out really well.
Yeah.
Because it had some short holes. It had some holes where you can try to go out off the tee, maybe if the other person was in play. I'm kind of wished it was the other way where we played the front for the alternating and then the back. But just again, like I said, we went off number 10. I thought that would have made that round a little bit more interesting. By all means, I'm not knocking the course. I thought it was great. That was one of the courses that I have played before.
You've played Aberdeen.
I actually did. I remember I was telling Dave, I think we were on like number 7 in lightning struck, but I don't know if I played. Remember, it used to be 27 holes, and I don't know if I played a different 9 before they got rid of 9 holes. So, I don't remember. I did like it. Again, great shape. Is a little bit more rough around the edges than maybe some of the other ones we played this weekend. But I would put that as my number 5.
I had Aberdeen at 4.
Aberdeen at 4. Any different things than I said about it, or?
No, I mean, I will say that was like the vibiest round I played all weekend. Because, playing with the good foursome there. I think your brother might have been the quietest one there. But no, it was basically just kind of the same type thing is, I think that it just kind of threw me off a little bit where I think it's a very scoreable course and whatnot. Like if you play it well, especially considering it's pretty wide open. But there are some like shot shapes you need to be able to play in order to put yourself in good position. You can't just hit driver off the tee. It's definitely one of those where you pick your club off the tee in order to hit a good landing spot. But I put it at 4 just because like I think just the others were better.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm going to fall in on that too. Now, I am going to kind of mix up my 4. I'm actually going to go to Willbrook Plantation as my number 4. I think overall, Willbrook and Tradition are going to be kind of neck and neck. I just didn't like the Willbrook layout as much to me.
Yeah.
I think the overhanging trees, although I think it can look really cool, I just didn't like it as much on a golf course. Now, I don't remember that one quite as much as I do remember Traditions when we went down and played before. I remember some holes on Traditions. I remembered a few holes on Willbrook. I thought Willbrook and Traditions were a little bit their differences. I thought Traditions was in better shape. Willowbrook I thought was probably the worst shape of the 4 courses we played in. But the layout kind of did keep it in the running. That's why I had Willowbrook at number 4.
I had Willowbrook,
crazy holes.
Willowbrook at 3, just because 1, we finally saw some gators, saw 3 gators on there.
True.
So I was happy about that. Saw a huge fish in the pond. I don't know. There's like 5 fish in there that were I don't know, I'm going to sound like a fisherman here, but they had to be at least 2.5 feet long. Basically same type thing. I get you with the kind of quirky overhanging trees and water
Yeah.
for no reason at certain spots. But I put it right in the middle of the pack because I saw my first hole in one there.
Well,
I've had a
that was
hole in
the
one,
thing.
but I've never witnessed it. So I'm going to put that in the happy medium 3, just because that was a cool experience.
I will agree there. That was by far, but even then, the 3 holes right around that hole where we had the hole in one did not fit on that golf
Yes,
course
no,
at all.
not at
They
all.
were so, and those were the ones I remembered. That was
Yeah.
funny because when we got back to where the Willow Brooks actually were, it was like a whole different golf course. But
Yeah.
solid course, and then like I said, it was Willowbrook put in your 3. Traditions actually was my 3. I don't know. I just liked it. I thought it was a solid golf course. Again, a little bit more forgiving off the tee. And I actually drove it well for the first 2 to 3 rounds, and then I didn't know where my driver ended up going for those rounds. So pretty similar. I mean, when it all comes down to it, those 3 again. Would I play them again? Yeah, I would. I would definitely go play those golf courses again. There was nothing wrong with them. They were in good shape. They just weren't as good as I think we have on our top 2. What do you have there for our top 2? So I guess our number 2 course for you.
Number 2 course is going to be what did we play last day?
River Hills.
River Hills. I felt that was very similar to 2 years ago, our final course, where it looked very traditional and very old and whatnot. But since it's one of those North Myrtle courses, kind of like it's right next to Eagle's Nest, I felt that it had the same vibe as Eagle's Nest, where, didn't have a ton of undulation to it. Had some tough greens, I will say that. But just kind of like some of the holes, it just seemed like they were difficult for no reason. Like you had to lay up into a par 5 to lay up again.
Yeah, they didn't have. You're right.
Unless like I'm talking about, I think it was hole.
Yeah, no, you're from green
15,
to tee.
16.
Or excuse me, from tee to green, they were pretty flat. They made it tricky on their angles.
Right. The angles kind of messed us up, messed my group up a good amount, just because, I'm trying to hit hybrid to like 220. And if you get on it a little bit, then it's going 235 and you're OB.
Yeah, I would agree. There was a couple that were, honestly, it was all the par 5s. If you took the par 5s and just kind of straightened them out or played them differently, where you can hit driver off the tee to then try to lay up instead of lay up to try to hit a long one in. Because the real big zigzag one, I think it was like, we played the back brush there too.
Yeah.
And then they had the one that was like a straight dog leg where you can only hit 215 off the tee, or you straighten those 2 holes out, I think the golf course completely changes and becomes better. But I liked it. I actually thought that was a very challenging course. I think it would have been a little interesting if we did the singles format on that one. I know we kind of ended up switching it out just because it was becoming a runaway. I think it could have been a dogfight for everybody just because of not knowing that golf course.
Yeah.
It's another one. You show up one more time, you show up tomorrow and play there again. You're like, okay, I'm going to probably be 3 to 4 shots better in my overall round, just because where a couple holes that you don't have to hit driver and where to kind of put the golf ball a little bit.
If I can swing the club pain free, I might be like 10 to 12 shots better.
Yeah, you were kind of struggling. Long weekend for you.
I felt like Tiger. Every time I swung and got after it, I wanted to just drop to my knees like Tiger did. But it was good.
Got to get yourself ready. So all right. So if River Hills is both of our number 2s, that puts our Jack Nicklaus golf course. I think it's Long Bay Golf Club.
Long Bay Golf Club.
Number 1 course by far.
Yes,
it really was by far that golf course. So I was telling Stevie P, our pro that we have on every once in a while, and if you want to check out Stevie P's tips from the pro, make sure to check out episode 2 of this season, and he will be on in the future. He was saying when he used to play in the Hooters tour, They played that golf course all the time. That was one of the big ones they would play.
You know what I started thinking about? You know what Long Bay reminded me of? A nicer Crows Creek.
I could see that.
Just kind of like the style.
They're pretty close
of it.
to each other.
Yeah. The style of it and layout of it, like, just reminded me of a nicer kept Crows Creek.
Yeah,
Plus, I think one of the number one reasons why I put this hole is because, one, I was actually driving the ball really well. You know, I had competition where I was just trying to keep up with Dave the entire time off the tee, and we were having a good time talking trash back and forth. But I was driving the ball really well. I was taking Dave lines and stuff like that. And it was a hell of a match too. That came down to basically 18. So
I think all of them came down. Now one ended early, but the other two came down to 18, which really did mess up the day. At least for my team. But
we took a one hole lead going into 18, and then we held on to it to win 2-up.
Yeah, so I would say that what blew me away about Long Bay, their green complexes were almost diabolical. Now, River Hills greens were our fastest greens we played on.
Yes.
And they were almost burnt out to a crisp. Like when they talk about watching PGA Tour events, when they start turning brownish, they're almost burnt out, and their speed there, they needed to be water. So if you would have put that speed that we played at River Hills on the Long Bay greens, you're probably talking tour quality greens.
Yeah.
I mean, they were undulated. They were coming in at different angles to where you really had to get off the tee to come in at a different direction. Otherwise, they got super narrow. If you put yourself in one of the opposite quadrants, I mean, there was I think it was number 10 where the bunker sits there with the giant hole in the middle.
Oh yeah.
They were some diabolical greens. I mean, and they rolled really, really well. They did quicken as the day went on, just because I think the dew was coming off, but they weren't River Hill speed. But I'm telling you, if they were River Hill speed, we would have had some 4, if not 5 putt holes.
Oh yeah.
I was just super impressed. The bunkers were gorgeous, very sandy.
Yeah,
they were gorgeous, and I didn't get off to a good start there, and I didn't end with a good start there. I did play fairly well in the middle there, but that is definitely one on my short list to go back. I mean, that was a really, really.
Oh yeah, I would definitely play Long Bay again.
Yeah,
any day.
Yeah, and honestly, I'd play all 5 of them. But if you wanted me to choose out of that 5, I'm headed back.
You kind of got to go back to River Hills since you got a shirt there.
I did, but that shirt, and we'll talk about that shirt. That shirt is Dave's way of showing Brian that we beat him. But he wants us to wear that together when we play at Stone School, so we all play. But yeah, man. Honestly, all 5 are really good.
Yes,
really good.
We had 5 great courses. Actually, I'm going to say 6 great courses.
We did. I mean, the only one that would say was more of your traditional type Myrtle would be more your Aberdeen middle of the tier.
Yeah.
Although it was in great shape for us. The wind picked up a little bit, but it was a great shape for us. And again, I'd play that one again, but Long Bay, River Hills, Willowbrook, Traditions, all of those top-notch, top-tier courses. We really did luck out, I think. In those, there was no negatives there by any means when it came down to it. Clubhouses were nice, nothing special to them. The 2 were Long Bay, and I think River Hills a little bit more of your traditional giant brick foundations and our brick fronts and everything.
Looks like an SEC frat house.
Hey guys, Brad from FairwayFit Golf here. Back 9 of Leesburg is opening soon. It's the elite indoor golf simulator facility. It's for the people that are trying to get better. Check them out. They're signing up for their founders memberships right now.
3 Full Swing Pro 2.0 simulators and a Putt View Green, the most accurate ball flight technology on the market. 24/7 access, the only year-round facility in the area. Par, Birdie, and Eagle membership tiers available. Founders rates are limited. Secure yours now. Join the founding member interest list for exclusive rates and priority access. Find us at theback9golf.com or follow at B9Golf Leesburg on Instagram.
Be one of the first to join their elite golf community.
It does. It does. But overall, I mean, those are outstanding golf courses. Let's talk formats. All right. If people listen to our last episode, we kind of broke down our formats with the captains. Make sure to check us out on our episode 3 of our 3rd season here. And we talked formats. We played a best ball format twice. We played a shamble format where both scores counted. We played a modified alternating shot for 9 holes with a scramble for 9 holes. And then we were supposed to play singles, but just because Team Billy did kind of run away with it and took a towering 9-3 lead after the second day, we kind of made up our own little twist on the last day just to make it fun. But it ended up tying. And if you noticed in my post, I had an asterisk.
Asterisk.
And then but ended up tying, but that didn't matter because Team Billy did retain the cup, and congratulations to him. I will say that the cup's missing. I'll be honest with you, I don't even know where it is. Hopefully he does have it.
Hopefully Billy has it.
Hopefully he does have it, or his entry fee might be a little bit more next year. So
gotta get a new cup.
But what do you think? I mean, I know we did have a guy bickering about them for a little bit, and Brian F., friend of the show, great player, probably one of the better players, if not the best player there. But he did actually come back to me later on. He said, yeah, I was just bickering because I knew it was going to be really hard for me. and I go, dude, I know it was hard for everybody. But overall, I mean, format change, anything that you saw, anybody really, I mean, obviously we're always going to have questions until this becomes a little bit more natural for them. It was like, what do we do? How do we do it type thing. But
I don't think so. I think overall, like, the formats kept every match considerably competitive. Like, I think the worst I think that we saw was somebody like 6-5. I think maybe was the worst match that we had. And that was, I think, one of those that was circled to be a runaway. I will say the match that me and Tim played against Dave, basically I circled that one. I was like, this is going to be a rough match.
Yeah.
And we just somehow kept around, hung around. I think the most we were down was 3, and we kind of battled back to even. And then I think we went 6 holes at even before we won on the 17th. And then basically won the 18th just because both people put the ball in the water and we actually hit the fairway.
Yeah, so. I think when it comes down to it, and I was talking to Anthony, captain of his team, on the way home. He drove back with us, and one thing we talked about is, as we grow into the 8-man team or 10-man team, which is kind of where we want to get to. Mm-hmm. We're not, it's going to take time for us to get there. It's more of instead of matching,
players
versus team, it's going to be more of the 2 captains trying to make sure that it's an equal match. And right. As much as you want to be, let's say if it was my team, I threw out 2 names, your team, you threw out 2 names. Instead of trying to win that, you're going to kind of really have to look at it and play the format a little bit more. And, you don't want to have too much stress on somebody, but you also don't want to have a round where that other person just feels like they're there just to be there. And
right.
You want everybody to have value in the round. And obviously using the hammers, which I thought pretty much worked out well. I mean, some guys you can tell put some thought into how they're going to use their hammers. Some guys just waited to the final holes and tried to use them all there. Again, I know, and you probably were the same way. First time you were allowed to do something like that, you don't know what works.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I still struggle. I still struggle to use hammers. I got better this year with using them. And, I think that's a good thing. Like, I mean, Scott was arguably one of the smartest people
Yeah.
ever to just start with Chaligan and move into his actual hammers. I was like, I felt like I was in dodgeball. It's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it
Yeah.
works for him. And
Yeah.
it actually
had-
did. It worked
they
for
had
him to
it
the
down
point where they
pat.
stayed in it.
They did. They had it down pat with the Choligans. My Choligan, I did
No,
one, and it
I will say this. Nick kept on calling them Chalugans. I was like, you're thinking of the wrestler on my team last year? No, it's not a Chalugan. It's called Chaligan. He was like, I read that wrong.
I think in the long run, it worked out. And, when people got mad, oh, well, so-and-so has too many hammers. Well, they actually probably used them. I mean, I had a partner that had, I think he got 9 hammers or maybe 8. Maybe one of them was effective.
Yeah.
And you have to learn how to use them. I did think about taking stroke completely out of play as far as a hammer, but then I kind of like that it's only in really one format.
Right.
So, and I don't know. I overall, I think it's fine. Obviously, 12 months from now, when we head back and we, Fairway Fit Cup round 3 or version 3 starts to come out, we could tweak things then. But I think as of right now, I think for the most part, it's pretty solid. I mean,
No, yeah. I like the format. I like the layout.
we really did have some of the guys. It was cool to watch because the group in front of us, even on the last day, and one was Scott and Tom, and it was Scott and Nick, and they really learned like when to use them, and it got competitive. I mean, they're throwing chips to the 4 feet and then calling it back. No, that's my mulligan because I got to get closer, and it's like,
Right.
really, that's a pretty good shot. But they knew exactly what was going on, and as the rounds got going, I think as they return next year, hopefully all the guys want to return next year. I mean, it's a perfect opportunity for them to learn more.
That was Anthony and Steve against us last day, where basically they were happy if they were landing short of the green because they knew they were like, no, let's like we're going here.
Anthony and Matt.
I'm sorry, yeah, Anthony and Matt.
Stevie P, our pro, kind of threw you off there because I was talking about him earlier.
But Anthony and Matt, like literally, if they came up short, they were like, all right, we're using the short one rather than the one that's on the backside of the green because like we can just chip shot it. In worst case scenario, you would use a mulligan. So
yeah, I mean, it really, it was. Now, is it tough for a guy that has maybe 1, maybe 2 mulligans? It is, but you know what? Show up and play. I mean, and I'm just the fault, as frustrated as I may have got because somebody was getting more. Well, I didn't play my best golf. I was a little disappointed.
Maybe we adjust it. Maybe we give some of those good guys maybe another hammer.
Well, again, I don't think it's that. I think it's just who you pair them with up against the other two. You have to put more thought into that. You can't put 2 guys together, then the other group get 20.
Right.
But, you just have to figure out.
20 mulligans against 4.
Yeah. If you have, adding 2 more guys per team or 4 more guys per team is going to make a huge difference when we get to that point. And, maybe it happens next year. Maybe it happens the year after. But overall, I thought the formats were good. So let's move to the next part. Let's talk superlatives. We're back in high school.
A lot of superlatives.
We want to see who's going to be the most successful, who's the most likely to be rich, who's the most likely to be homeless.
You do know what we didn't do though? We did not take a poll for cheddar or white cheddar.
We didn't.
We got like 3 votes and then we forgot to get the rest of them.
We did. There was a lot of things we forgot to do. I forgot. I basically told everybody to take pictures. I've got one, and it was mine. But superlatives, I got.
That just means we're having a good time if we're not looking at our phone and picking our phone up.
Or we're smarter than the average high school kid now.
That's true. It's probably the same type thing.
So I got 5 superlatives. We're going to name them. It's very similar to last year that we talked about. I actually think some people may earn the same superlative from last year. Some may not. But we're going to start off with the very first one. Best dressed.
This year, I think Tim stepped his game up. Now there was the Detroit pants like really sealed it for me. I don't know where he got them from, but they're awesome.
Yeah, he had those last
I
year.
think did he? I don't
Yeah.
remember seeing him last year. But I'm gonna have to say that maybe he edged Anthony out this year for it.
So I would agree too. And honestly, I think we agreed Anthony on the pure fact that some of his were a little bit outgoing. He kind of came back with the same,
Yeah.
and it was a little bit noticeable. And even if Tim didn't, maybe he just mixed up the top, and it was pants weather for at least a couple of the
It's
days.
true. Yeah.
And but his overall pant game was on.
His
mean-
kind of Chinese USA pants were one of my favorites.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
were
know.
good. They were good.
I mean,
So congrats to Tim for being our best dressed. It's not bad at all. All right, here's another one. Best trash talker.
I'm gonna have to go Dave.
Yeah, it's a silent one though.
He does it subtly.
Yeah.
He doesn't straight up talk trash to you. Like I will
Yeah.
use the example that I've told everybody is that he like very subtly called me just weak because he was like, oh, he's like, the water's 304. Go ahead and hit driver. And like I literally like paused, looked at him, was just like, why don't you just call me, you know, a B just right to my face rather than do that. He's like, oh, I don't know what you're talking. And of course he doesn't back off. He just goes, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't say anything. But yeah, it's very subtle trash talk that digs you and gets under your skin. And I mean, I love it. I'm there for it.
Yeah,
because he takes it just as much as he'll take it just as much as he gives it.
So what's funny is, you know, I get to play a lot with those guys, with Dave and Brian, and then, you know, obviously we've been talking about Steve, and he unfortunately did not come down with us, but he plans on next year, and all of them are the same, and they throw these little daggers, and
Little
it's like, and I'm not gonna, you know, and again, I know when I'm the worst in that group. And so that just gets me going even more. And there's rounds I've beaten all of them a handful of times, and they beat me as well too. But most of the times it is fairly close. But that, man, they just had those little daggers, and it's just like it just gets a little bit deeper in you every single time. And then but I'm with you on that one, because I think we kind of knew what Brian F was coming with. Because but Dave does it in this just a little bit more silent way, and it's just more of a smirk than a chuckle, like Brian gives us after he says it. But yeah, so best track talker could go to Dave, who literally had to fly out the next day he got home from work. He's gone all week. All right, here's one. Luckiest golfer.
I'm going to go with Scott.
Okay.
Scott had some, I mean, I guess we could easily just say Billy, but he got a hole in one. That's more just as much luck as it is skill.
It is.
No, I'm going to go with Scott because I saw him pull off some shots that were just absolutely ridiculous. Like I saw him hit a sand shot that he had no business making, that just like flopped it out and dropped it 2 feet from the green when me and your brother were playing it. And me and your brother just kept looking at each other, like being like, what is going on? But yeah, like as far as like recovery shots or anything like that, I mean, it was just, I feel like one I would play any day with Scott. Any day with Scott.
Scott needs to play more golf. I've told him that. We got to see him a couple years ago. He came out and played about 36 hole day with us. That could have been one of our majors, actually. I don't 100%.
Might have been.
But he's a lot of fun to play with. He is very competitive. Very competitive. And you are 100% right. He will all of a sudden hit this shot, and you're like, where did that come from? And he pulls this hybrid out of the bag that he got. He chose to get the hybrid over his 2 pairs of pants and a shirt because they're the same price.
Mm-hmm.
And his first 4 swings was like 240 dead center with a little baby draw. And it was like, how many hammers do you have? like what did we do here? And then yes, it may have taken him one or more extra shots to get to that hole, but I think the ability is there. He just needs to play more golf,
Yes.
and he is super busy with his 2 boys, and he coaches a lot as well too. So I mean, well, just like all of us, but I like that poll. I like that poll. I'm going to go a little bit on record for my luckiest golfer, and you may not like this. I'm going to say the luckiest golfer this week was you. You went
Probably.
4-1, and I don't think you broke 100 on your ball. Maybe once,
Maybe against Dave.
maybe against Dave. Okay, but you were 4-1. So like when it goes down to overall records that I'm keeping for the Fairway Fit Cup, that's a solid week.
That is.
You put the team first. So let's
I
put it
did.
that way.
I did.
If
showed
there was a
up when I
superlative for the
when I
biggest
needed
team
to.
player, that was you.
I showed up when I needed to, especially when Billy was telling me get after this one on the last day, and it was like, oh boy. And then like, literally I'd hit it, and then Anthony goes, I felt that for you, because like you just see my face. And then when Billy almost flips the cart and I have to jump out and push the cart out.
Not the day to do that.
That wasn't much good for my back either. But
all right. So
no.
next superlative.
I would say yes.
Well, just on record. That's all I was getting at. Most improved. Now, this is a little bit challenging just because, we added 5 new golfers, I think, this time.
True.
Maybe 6 new golfers. But most improved.
I'm gonna have to go with Nick on this one.
I am too. Although the what's the best way to put it? The floor is still low.
The
ceiling is still low as far as it needs to get a lot better. But overall, I would say not necessarily the most improved from last year to this year. I saw the most improvement from round 1 to round 5.
Yes.
With Nick. And
he got better as he played.
Yeah, and if he played 100 more rounds, he might be where he needs to be. But no, he definitely got better. And I don't know, maybe he was putting a lot of pressure on himself.
He's an associate member now, so he's already planning on playing more golf.
There you go. But I don't know if he was more. We've done this before. We go into these things. I told everybody I was going to get better. I need to show them I'm better. And it takes a round or two where I need to stop worrying about what everyone's thinking and just play golf. And maybe that's what it clicked for him. Because we followed them on the last day and we saw a ton of good shots. I mean, it was a 5.5 hour round that day. By it wasn't means it wasn't us holding people up on the golf course. It just was a slow day. So we saw him and he made a lot of good shots and maybe he found a good playing partner too that kept the vibes going.
I think him and Scott need to make a weekend group. Yeah, I would go out with that weekend group all the time.
Heck yeah! So our last superlative and kind of an important one. Who was this year's MVP?
I mean, it's got to be Brian F.
Yeah, I know it hurts to say. It hurts to say, but yeah, Brian F. definitely takes the MVP this year. He went 4-1 as well, and
really he can take my one.
His 4 matches he won.
One against you, basically.
What? Say again?
Because he played with me, and then he played with Tom. Day one.
I think he played with Tom,
but he was 2-0 on his own that day.
Yeah, I mean, I think he did some good stuff when it was his turn. Basically, that's how I was getting. And I'm not going to say one or the other because we're all out there trying to do our best. But he won some that maybe he probably took the bulk of and stepped up. And although I saw him hit some shots I had never seen him do, and they weren't good, he definitely was more of the steady Eddie throughout the day. Did putt it as well as I usually see him putt it, but I know he was just
he switched putters 3 times.
He did switch putters 3 times, and we did bring one up to her in the practice that we never practiced with. So, but yeah, so Brian takes home MVP. Actually, I don't remember, but there's a good chance he was probably MVP last year. Actually, no, I don't think that's right. He was not because he was on the losing team. He was definitely not the MVP. So before we wrap things up here, one more time, I want to give a big shout out to our new sponsor, Back 9 of Leesburg. If you are serious about your game or just want to an unreal place to play, this is the spot. 24/7 access, elite simulators, and a full luxury vibe. Founding memberships are going fast, so don't miss out your chance. Get in on them early. Hit the back9.com, back9.com/Leesburg, Virginia, or follow at B9 Golf Leesburg, all one word, and check them out on Instagram. But before we sign off here, Greg, we have our competitions about to start.
We are. You're feeling pretty confident that I can't break 100 now, I bet.
We are putting away, yes, because all those rounds did not count in Grant. We are putting away our players' packs, which I do think were top notch. I think that we got a lot of compliments on those. We are putting away the trophy for right now, and our major season is about to begin. Right now, April 10th is going to be our first major. We do have, it's only in pencil, and it's not in pen. Obviously, with our lives, they're being very busy and a lot going on. We are going to try to get out there. We have talked about our format, which we were probably leaning towards match play, but it always could possibly change. And if those who don't remember, we have 5 majors coming up this year. They are head-to-head. They are based off of our handicap, just to keep it competitive, like we like to do. And we do all kinds of different formats. We do match play, Stableford,
stroke
play. We've done some that are 36 holes.
Yes, that's right. We stretched them out.
We stretch them out. We try to have as much fun as possible when we do that. But major number 1 is coming up in about 2.5 weeks. We are not going to be dropping an episode next week, as we are both on vacation. So you will not hear from us back for 2 weeks. That will be our major prep episode, where we will talk about what we have done, not only in the weight room, but also on the practice areas, at the range, whatever it may be, to prep for major number 1. We will also have tips from the pro back with Stevie P. So make sure to check in 2 weeks. We will be back. Until then, we will see you then. Have a good break.